A lot of people say that raising a big family on one income is impossible in this economy. But we have 5 kids, one income, and a home that's actually thriving. We eat well, we live fully, and it's not because we make a ton of money. It's because of a few mindset shifts and simple systems, ones that most families overlook. Stick around because by the end of this video, you're going to know the exact systems that we use and how you can build a home that thrives on one income without constant stress. It is a gift that God has given us, this ability. I would not trade it for the world. Having a Christian mother in the home truly affects the spiritual atmosphere. I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser.
Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. And every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit.
I'm able to teach them about the Lord throughout the day and disciple them. I can teach them life skills and work with them on those skills as they grow up. I'm able to teach our children to love and prefer one another, and slowly over time, that's building a strong family culture. And one huge benefit to being home is the chance to spend so much time with them during these fleeting years. Time goes by so fast. I cherish each day that I get with them, and I'm so thankful to be able to be home with them. So really, this mindset shift of loving to be home-centered is such a big part of thriving on one income. But as wonderful as that is, thriving on one income does not happen by accident. It takes intentionality and a different way of approaching life. So let's talk about some of those. By the way, I'm Lauren, a homeschooling mom of 5. Most of us weren't taught to manage a home, but by God's grace, we can learn. I'm here to help you thrive in your role by building rhythms that fit your life. One of the biggest ways that we save money and invest in our health at the same time is through what we eat. Food takes up a huge part of most families' budgets, so this area makes a really big difference. We almost never eat out. It's not because it's wrong, but because eating at home 99% of the time is one of the simplest ways that we can both protect our health and steward our budget. But we are only able to really be consistent with that because I keep a simple meal planning system in place. It is not fancy, but it's solid, and it serves our family really well. Here's how it works. Usually on Sunday, I sit down as I'm planning for the week. I flip to the back of my notebook where I keep a list of our go-to meals. This just saves me from starting from scratch every week. I check what needs to be used in the fridge or the pantry, and then I simply plug meals into the week based on what we have and what we're doing throughout the week. Part of my system is I also buy pantry items in bulk over time, so we always have staples to pull from. And then I shop for fresh items once a week. And another big part of my meal system is to make sure that dinner actually gets on the table without the 5 o'clock panic. Right around breakfast, either before or after, I pull out the meat for that night to thaw. And then after lunch, while the kids are wrapping up eating, I chop up vegetables. And then about an hour before dinner, I start cooking simple meals with real ingredients. My 5 kids are 9 and under, so I keep it pretty simple. But we do use real ingredients because you either invest in good food now or you're paying for it later. Food is one of the most powerful levers in your home budget. Simple, home-cooked meals save thousands over years. And just as importantly, if not more, they create rhythms that really strengthen your family culture as you gather around the table regularly. It doesn't have to be gourmet at all. It just has to be planned. If you're feeling overwhelmed about where to even begin with all of this, especially with routines like meal planning, I created a free training to help you take that first step, and you can grab that down below. Food is one of the biggest ticket items for every family, but it's definitely not the only one. So let's go talk about how we steward everything else. So living on one income does mean that we have to be intentional about what we spend. And one system that we use to help us do that and stay within the bounds of my husband's income is our weekly budgeting. In order to budget, we use an online platform called Monarch, and they're not paying me to say that. It's just an online budgeting tool that we like because it automatically categorizes transactions, and then you can train it over time to even get more accurate. My husband sets the monthly budget for each category because he's just good with money, and I'm the one who makes sure that we're staying within those boundaries. Every Monday, because that's my office day, I set aside about 30 minutes, give or take, and I check in on our spending. I update any transactions that didn't auto categorize, and then I pay our bills for the week. Honestly, I really love having a budget. A lot of people can see budgeting as restrictive, but I've found it's the opposite. A clear budget gives us the freedom to spend without guilt and the wisdom to stop before we drift. It's a simple system that keeps us honest and on track. But here's the heart of it. No budget will ever feel like enough if you haven't learned contentment. Limits are real, but with a content heart, those limits feel like a protection and not withholding. So far, we've talked about 3 keys that helps our family thrive on one income: a mindset that loves being home, food rhythms that nourish and save, and then operating within a budget that gives freedom through boundaries. And yes, it can all sound kind of serious, but living on one income does not mean that life is all restraints and routines. This next point might surprise you because it's all about fun. Let's talk about how we enjoy life, make memories with our children, and build a family culture that's joyful without spending a lot of extra money. Our family has learned how to have a lot of fun and connect without spending a fortune or anything. My husband and I really want to make our home a fun place that our family wants to be. And so here's what that looks like for us. We like to do a lot of hospitality. We don't overload our schedule because as a young family, that can easily happen. But we do like to regularly host people in our home for a meal and possibly games. But we really enjoy spending time with other families as a family. So our kids will play with their friends, and then we will enjoy talking with the parents and spending time with them. We love hosting and having fun in our home and building memories that way. Another thing that we like to do that costs $0 is outside time. My kids love being outside, and that has been such a blessing. They have great imaginations. They build things, they play on the trampoline, they ride bikes, run around, you name it. We're in the garden. They just love being outside. And for that, I'm thankful. We also like to go on little hikes or walks. We go to the park, but all of those cost zero money, and it's a lot of fun. Another thing that we do regularly is a weekly pizza night. I make homemade pizza. The kids usually help me make it and really enjoy that. And then occasionally, if it's not too late, we will play a family game or we will do a read aloud or something like that. Another thing we do is we have very generous family members who love to give our children gifts. But with 5 children, multiple birthdays, and Christmas, the gifts can just pile up. And so we've actually gone from asking for physical gifts to more experience-based gifts. So for example, this last Christmas, family members contributed to our family vacation. And part of that was buying an annual pass to a theme park type place that's pretty close to our home. We plan on going several more times this year, but that's been a very fun way to build memories as a family. So fun does not have to come with a big price tag. And honestly, our kids love these simple, meaningful moments the most because we're together. So here's what I really want you to take away from this. Staying home is a privilege that has an eternal impact on our families, and it is 100% worth the sacrifice if you're able to make it. Number 2, meal planning and home-cooked food both nourishes our family and saves a lot of money. Number 3, stewarding our budgets and learning to be content makes thriving on one income possible. And 4, a joyful, connected family does not come from spending more money. It comes from building rhythms that we enjoy and love at home together. You guys, thriving on a single income is not about stretching for more. It's about slowing down and growing in gratefulness and stewarding what God has given us and being amazed as we let God grow joy in our hearts in the everyday moments of our home. That is how we can have an abundant, rich life on one income. So now that you know the systems and the mindset shifts that it takes to thrive on one income, the next step is learning to build habits and systems that stick and that make it sustainable. And that's what we're covering in the next video. So be sure to stick around to watch that. And don't forget to grab the free training below that helps you start building routines that save money and time and energy. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.